European Team Championships in Lisbon, Portugal. A small home nation takes on the best teams in Europe, and against all odds, they do the unthinkable. But how did it happen? In table tennis, Portugal has always been seen as an underdog. But in 2014, everything changed. This is the story of how Portugal stunned Europe, how they made history, and how they became European champions for the first time. It was a dream scenario for the Portuguese team. Playing the European Team Championships on home soil in Lisbon, the pressure was on, and the team felt it. The thought of becoming champions had most certainly not even crossed their minds. To win the gold, they had to beat giants like Germany, Sweden, and France. Germany, led by world-class players like Timo Boll and Dmitry Ovcharov, had dominated European table tennis for years. Sweden and France, with their merits, were always a threat. And then there was Portugal, the team no one expected much of. The Portuguese team wasn't full of superstars, but it was full of heart. Tiago Apollonia, a steady and focused player, Marco Freitas, with his great serves and incredible resilience, and João Monteiro, always determined and ready for battle. Together they were about to make history. Portugal ended up in Group A together with Hungary, Austria, and top-seeded Germany. Their first match was against Hungary. Portugal was a better team on paper, and they delivered. A 3-0 win for Portugal, a great performance that sent out strong signals for the rest of the tournament. Next match was against Germany. Germany was a much stronger team and decided they could afford to not play their world number 5, Dmitry Ovcharov, and instead give a young Patrick Franziska the chance. The decision wouldn't impact the match as Franziska won his match against João Monteiro and the team won 3-1. Portugal's win came, of course, from their number 1, Marcos Freitas. Even though Portugal lost, they had played impressively good. If you count out Boll's slaughter against Apollonia in the first match, the other 2 losses were in the decider. However, in the third match against Austria, it didn't go as planned. Monteiro won his match, but Freitas and Apollonia underperformed, 1-3 defeat, and Portugal's journey should have ended here in the group stage. But somehow, with 1 victory and 2 losses, Portugal advanced to the quarter-finals. Hungary had surprisingly beaten Austria in the match before with the smallest margin possible. So Portugal finished second in the group with 5 match wins and 6 losses, which was seen as better than Austria's 6-7. It was now time for the knockout stage. Portugal was drawn against group winner Russia. Russia was ranked higher as a team, but if you look player for player, Portugal was a better team. Nevertheless, Portugal had to step up and play way better than they did against Austria to have a chance. And so they did, 3-1 victory, and they were through to the semi-final. The team kept riding on the momentum and beat Sweden 3-1 and was now in the final. The journey had now come to an end, but it felt okay. Silver was more than enough, and the run had been more than incredible. Germany, which was waiting in the final, had beaten them 3-1 in the group stage without even using their highest-ranked player. However, when Freitas went out and won comfortably 3-0 against Stefan Mengel in the first match, there was a small glimmer of hope. But that hope would be shut down pretty quickly after Boll destroyed Monteiro 3-0, because now Apollonia would play against Ovcharov. The match started very surprisingly. Apollonia played the table tennis of his life and won the second set 11-2 and went 2-0 up. And in the fourth set, he could secure the match 3-1. Even though Portugal was 2-1 up in matches, there was a lot more to do. Boll would now play his second match, and then Ovcharov would get his revenge in the deciding match. But Ovcharov never got to play his second match, because Freitas, in the biggest match of his career, against all odds, played at his best and defeated Boll 3-1. Just look at the euphoria from the Portuguese team. There are no words to describe what this team managed to pull off.